What if one man held secrets capable of shaking the most powerful institutions in the world? What if those secrets were locked inside sealed files, redacted documents, and unanswered questions? And what if that man died before he could ever speak in court? Tonight, we investigate the Epstein files. What we know for certain, what remains hidden, how Jeffrey Epstein died in federal custody, and whether a future U.S. administration could actually release what the public has been demanding to see. This is not rumor. This is not social media theory. This is the documented record and the silence surrounding it. Who was Jeffrey Epstein, and how did he get so powerful? Jeffrey Epstein presented himself as a private financier with exclusive access to elite circles. He owned multiple luxury properties, including a private island, a Manhattan mansion, and estates in Florida and New Mexico. But his real power wasn't just money. It was proximity. Epstein surrounded himself with politicians, royalty, scientists, billionaires, and celebrities. He donated to institutions. He funded research. He positioned himself as untouchable. Behind closed doors, however, prosecutors would later allege that Epstein was running a long-term sex trafficking operation involving underage girls. In 2008, he was arrested in Florida. What followed shocked legal experts. The 2008 deal and a warning ignored. Epstein avoided federal prosecution through a secretive plea deal. Instead of decades in prison, he served 13 months, much of it on work release. The deal protected Epstein, and potentially unnamed associates, from federal charges. At the time, victims were not informed. Years later, that agreement would be ruled illegal by a federal judge. But by then, Epstein was free, and continued living among the powerful. For over a decade, the case went quiet, until 2019. The arrest that changed everything. In July 2019, federal prosecutors arrested Epstein on sex trafficking charges. This time, there would be no plea deal. The evidence included witness testimony, financial records, and travel logs. Epstein was placed in the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York. If convicted, he faced life in prison. For the first time, it appeared Epstein would be forced to answer questions, under oath. But that moment never came. The death in jail, suicide, negligence, Oregon. Something else. On August 10th, 2019, Jeffrey Epstein was found dead in his cell. Authorities quickly ruled his death a suicide by hanging, but within hours, the story began to unravel. Here's what is officially documented. Epstein was supposed to be checked every 30 minutes. Those checks did not happen. 2 guards later admitted to falsifying records. Surveillance cameras malfunctioned. Epstein had been taken off suicide watch days earlier. The Department of Justice later described the situation as a perfect storm of negligence and failure. No one was charged in connection with Epstein's death. The autopsy dispute. The official medical examiner ruled the death a suicide. However, an independent pathologist hired by Epstein's family stated that certain injuries were more consistent with strangulation than hanging. 2 experts, 1 body, conflicting interpretations, no courtroom resolution. The 3 possibilities. Let's be precise. Possibility 1, suicide. Epstein was facing global exposure, permanent imprisonment, and total loss of control. From this perspective, suicide is plausible. Possibility 2, negligence that enabled death. Systemic failures allowed Epstein to die before trial. This doesn't require a conspiracy, only indifference or incompetence. Possibility 3, murder. There's no verified evidence proving homicide, no charges, no suspects, no definitive forensic ruling. But because Epstein died before testifying, suspicion remains. Not because of proof, but because of what was lost. What died with Epstein? Epstein's death ended the possibility of testimony. There would be no cross-examination, No plea cooperation, no public naming under oath. Instead, investigators were left with documents. And that brings us to the Epstein files. The Epstein files, what they are and why they matter. The Epstein files are not a single collection. They include court-sealed civil records, witness depositions, flight logs, contact lists, financial documents. Some names are public, many are redacted. Important clarification. Being named in a document does not equal criminal guilt, but transparency matters. Judges have ordered partial unsealing of records connected to Epstein's associate, who was convicted in 2021. Still, significant material remains hidden, often due to victim privacy laws and sealed settlements. This has fueled a public demand for full disclosure, and that demand has now intersected with politics. Trump, politics, and the promise of disclosure. Donald Trump has publicly stated that he cut ties with Epstein years before Epstein's arrest. Flight records show no evidence of Trump traveling on Epstein's private jet. Some political allies have claimed that a future Trump administration would support releasing remaining Epstein-related material. But here's the reality. A president cannot simply unseal court records. However, an administration can. Support unsealing motions, direct the Department of Justice not to oppose releases, declassify certain intelligence materials if they exist. So while full disclosure isn't guaranteed, political pressure can influence transparency. Whether that pressure would be applied and how far it would go remains unknown. What could still come out and what never will. Future releases could include additional correspondence, expanded travel documentation, financial connections, previously sealed testimony. But experts caution, some information may never be released. Why? Because courts must balance transparency against victim protection, defamation risk, legal settlements. The Epstein case exists where justice and power collide, and transparency often loses. Final thoughts. Why this story still matters. The Epstein story isn't just about one man. It's about how power protects itself. It's about how wealth can delay justice, or escape it entirely. And it's about whether the public ever truly gets the full truth. Epstein did not operate alone. But because he died before trial, the answers many were waiting for may never come. The files remain. The questions remain. And until every legal avenue is exhausted, the Epstein case will continue to haunt American politics and the global elite. The question isn't whether more information exists. The question is, will we ever be allowed to see it?